I don't want to harp on him, but I mean, he just looks like a zombie. He looks like a zombie, or like the lights are on, but no one is home. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, for Loki, we are still #1 ranked in Masters. Starting to heat up though. I know a lot of alliances want to take us off because you know what? If I was in their position, I would want to too. Let's get to this. We've got 5 fights, another boss solo, and then some really interesting fights I haven't taken this exact matchup and node before, including an Ikaris. Like, you know, our team at Kabam usually knocks it out of the park. Like, honestly, they are one of the best parts. This dude looks like he had a lobotomy. I really don't understand. We'll get to that though when we fight him. There's some tricks and some nuance you're going to want to hear about how to fight this guy. It was pretty interesting to read through his kit and attack it, especially on this node. Anyways, we're starting off here against this Moleman. He is benefiting from the global, which is that unstoppable armor. I'm sure you've heard us talk about it. It's the combat Deja Vu prowess node here. You know, Moleman specials are pretty easy to dex, about as easy as it gets in this game. So I decided what I was going to do was I was going to do a lot of medium light combos and then end it. But if I started to get backed up, or if something went wrong, mistake or whatever, I've talked in some of my videos lately about, like even right there, my parry timing is just, I'm having difficulty landing my parries with a lot of confidence right now. And so if that started to happen, I wasn't going to be too worried about doing 5-hit combos, that sort of thing. But so here we go. So this is basically just Apocalypse versus Moleman. And the biggest issue, and that's why I started off with, is the unstoppable armor. And that's because of how long Apocalypse's specials are. Sometimes that's a really big benefit, right? Like if it's an encroaching stun node or something like that, you really like these really long specials. But in this one, what I wanted to do was be extremely mindful of that. What you saw right there is there's a chance, I think it's a 30% chance with the armor up there, that Moleman will go unstoppable with this node. And I want to make sure that when I throw my specials, that timer is as full as it possibly can. Basically, the node is on cooldown. So here we go. We see this. I think what I'm going to do, I should bait this special now. There we go. Moleman was really nice guy, and throws it. And then right now I'm like, okay, I should be able to throw my special. And so I throw it. See how long this takes. That was my first kind of like test of it. And I was like, all right, we've got plenty of time here with the timer. If I throw it early enough in the cooldown cycle, we really don't need to worry about it. I don't have cable paying, and I can't think of the other champion that starts off with Apocalypse at 4 genetic code. So I don't have quite as many debuffs coming. I'm not as ramped up, but it's fine, right? This is really just, I'm gonna need to land some parries and go in and throw my specials. I think we're gonna time this one here. Again, I'm landing the heavy to get the bleed going, refresh that degeneration. And then right here, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it off. Yeah. So didn't really need to worry about do the special because it was fun. Didn't really need to worry about it though, because we were able to finish him off before we even got to the special there, or have any sort of refreshing of the unstoppable armor. All right, moving on. Now this was an interesting one. Purgatory, not the toughest defender. I did take her last season, I think it was. Last season or 2 seasons ago. But I think I did it with like a Doom or something like that. Basically just stay the heck out of the way. She can get some really big power gain going though, right? And her SP1, she does like this flip in the air. Well, I think we'll see that in this fight. We might not, but there's Spite. Miguel's gonna take care of that for us, right? He doesn't gain buffs, rise to power. Gonna actually use that to my advantage. We're gonna do a lot of heavy, knocking her down, and then parry. And we'll actually be reversing this power gain. So watch how this works out. Remember, with the anti-venom synergy, we're gonna start with the Wither, which is a minus 125% ability power rate. And this is really good. This is something that I think we can talk about here for these next 3 fights. There's a difference between ability power rate and combat power rate. Combat power rate is what you get when you get hit, or what they get when you hit them, right? But if it's an increased ability power, like what we're seeing right there, that passive she's getting, the Wither is going to decrease that, but will do nothing for the combat power rate. So there you go. You saw, watch what happens when I parry her. Watch her power bar. It actually is going down. It's actually going down. So, I mean, Miguel is just tailor-made from this, that I'm dexing just to refresh my Wither and the exhaustion buff, debuff that's coming off the heavy, which we just landed there. Again, she's supposed to be gaining power from hitting me after being knocked down, but Miguel just, in his abilities, just turned that off. So yeah, she doesn't get to throw the special one. I had practiced the special one in my duels. We never even got to see it. So, you know, it is what it is. And now we're going to move on to this Maw. the few times I fought in Ma, sometimes I think it was early in the season, I forgot to heavy him. That's something that I've had trouble with before. It is what it is. And so here we go. We're going to make sure that we land our heavies, which will require us to reparry, or you can punish his SP1 with the heavy. I think I messed one of those up in this fight. But again, we're going to start off with our wither. If we land a heavy, we're going to get that exhaustion. There we go. So now he's really not going to get much from kinetic transfers if he hits into our block at all. We're going to punish his heavy. This fight was going super, super smooth. I think that's why I got a little aggressive trying to punish his SP1. See, like right there, I'm just short. I just am short, and I even knew it. I really shouldn't have done that. I should have recognized the spacing, but I'm having fun. You know, it's cool to do that. I knew that SP2 was coming up, and we're gonna go and finish him off here before the falter timer can even kick in. Miguel can do a lot of damage. He can do a lot of damage. I think you guys are getting used to that. You know that though. The more debuffs he has up, the harder that SP2 is going to hit. So now we're moving on. And I mean, I don't want to harp on him, but I mean, he just looks like a zombie. He looks like a zombie, or like the lights are on, but no one is home. That is for sure. Speaking of silly miss though, I forgot to heal up before I boosted. So now I had to use some extra potions, but whatever. Okay, so we've got the Kinetic Transference feat of Indestructible. You used to seeing this fight from me against a Mojo. That's often who's there. We've taken him out with Mr. Negative. We've also taken him out with Miguel here. Big thing to remember, when you get to that special 2, they are going to go Indestructible. It's pretty lengthy, so you want to hold on to that. And then also, I want to pause this really here. Hitting Ikaris with your light attack gives him this Energize, which increases his combat power rate. Miguel does nothing about that. Absolutely nothing. That's like Punisher 99 type stuff, okay? That is not Spider-Man 99. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of parrying. We're going to heavy him, get that exhaustion up, and we're going to do medium. It's kind of an awkward playstyle. I don't really like it. You saw some intercepts there, but there we go. I intercepted. I'm going to land a couple more intercepts that, like, I mean, I meant to, but it's more muscle memory than anything else. I just wanted to parry him, take advantage of kinetic transference working for me. And then some of these intercepts, they just happen, right? I mean, it's just from playing the game. I knew his SP1, I'd really practiced it. He does this dive down, and then he does like a twirly. Watch him do a twirly. There it is. And then you can just go and punish him with that twirly. He actually has, despite seeing that parry you just saw, he actually has a pretty long recovery. And that's why I was so late on that. I dueled him. I dueled my 4-star quite a few times. But that's this fight. I'm going to accidentally send him to his SP2 because I thought my SP2 would finish him off, and it doesn't. But here we go. You know, I can still hit into him. That's fine. He's just indestructible, so I don't want to throw my SP2. And we're going to get to another one here in just a second. But as you can see, this is just kind of parry. Go ahead and punish the SP1. There you can see the kind of elongated recovery he has off this SP1. Yeah, there we go. And then I thought this SP2 would finish him off. I don't think I threw it into Indestructible. No, good. I was like, oh man, that'd be a big mistake. But here we go. I thought this was going to finish him off. You can see though, I only have 2 different debuffs. He's got 1% health. And so I just blocked that SP2. I really don't know that evade. I hadn't practiced that. I really didn't think he'd even be getting to it. And he's down. So if you go into that the wrong way, you could really get into trouble. If you're thinking like, I'm just going to handle the ability power rate, I'm going to handle the node, I'm going to handle the kinetic transference, and you start hitting him with your light attack, he's going to get that increased combat power rate. It's like an energize. And I could see that going sideways. I could see that being a real problem. So if you take that fight, make sure you handle that, or you've got another way to handle his combat power rate with like a power lock or something like that. Like I guess magic. I'm sure there's some other ways to take that fight too. Ikaris, he's interesting. He's unique. He's really fitting with some of these new champions we've seen the last couple of months, where there's just so much in there. I feel like almost they're like tailor-made for battlegrounds, where there's so much nuance that an attacker is going to need to know to take them out, that they could really trip someone up if they're not studied in on them, like Toad, Sauron, Ikaris there, so on and so forth. So, and then again, you've seen this. I think this is the 3rd time we have taken out Nimrod. The cool thing with this one is he's actually linked. He's actually linked. So if I don't hit him, I think it's every 6 seconds, we're going to start degenerating. Here's the thing, though. We've talked about this. Here it is. You can see I'm degenerating here, but I'm really not. Because Miguel's got that 75% damage reduction from all sources if the defender has True Strike or the opponent has True Strike, right? So in case you haven't seen this before, and you see I had to turn the volume. It was really loud. It was really, really loud. I don't know why I had it turned up so high. but it's the boss fight. He is benefiting from the unstoppable armor, so I'm going to go all the way to my SP3 and land that 25-second slow. Once that's on, this fight is really cake. I mean, you're going to see me. I don't think I dex any of the specials. Maybe a couple of special ones if I'm feeling spicy. Let's see. Yeah, no, I just take it to the face instead because it's not going to really do much. It's not. I'm going to heal back up. We've talked about this. You would really have to have a succession, like a cascading waterfall of mistakes to die. Not that it couldn't happen. Maybe an SP3 could finish you off. You'd have to make a lot of mistakes on this fight in a row. That one was weird though, because we have the unstoppable and he's got the slow debuff on him. That one really surprised me. But the other thing I noticed it earlier in the fight, we had that same UI problem that we had against the Heimdall. And like, if you've noticed, my wither is gone. It is absolutely gone. I don't know if I'm benefiting from it or not. I noticed that early in the fight. And I thought though, I'm like, you know, he's not getting a big power gain. As long as that slow is up, I'm fine. Even if the slow had gone away and I wasn't sure, and you saw it, we didn't have the benefit of it there. I'd still think this fight's fine. You just kind of have to go a little more cautiously, a little more conservatively, pay attention to the unstoppable armor, which appears to be gone. Okay, I think it's now back. It's really weird watching this fight over. I took this fight late at night. I'm not worried about it. In fact, the only reason I took it when I did is we wanted to get the global down. The war was pretty well in hand. I'm not going to pretend like it was a tight war and there was a lot of pressure. There wasn't. We wanted to get the global down just to make a few of the nodes a little more simple and help out some of the people that still needed to clear. Spider-Man 99 doing plenty of damage with all that armor up against a Nimrod. Yeah, I mean, that, like I said, that was probably the easiest fight I had of the war. And yeah, so, you know, there's always Liza there cheering you on. It feels good. Carl too. Thank you, Carl. You're the best, dude. But I had to let him know. I'm like, it's not me. It's Spider-Man 99. And Great War to Revolution. Very cool to go up against you all. Garbage Disposed with the shout out there in the war chat. That's always fun when those sorts of things happen. And congratulations or thank you to our MVPs, PWF, Mad Cat, still on that awesome streak. That's awesome. And B Manny, one of the OG awesome players of For Loki. Let's go ahead and jump over to the season stats. All right, as we always say, the most important stat is that win-loss for Loki. Our goal is always Masters. We're sitting at Masters 1, though, literally rank 1. We're going to hold on to that. We know it's going to get tight. These last, what do we got, 5 wars left of the season. A lot of people want that. A lot of skilled alliances out there. So I'm really looking forward to the competition the next 5 weeks, or the next 5 wars, I mean. 41 kills, 3 deaths. Not bad. Not bad. Could clean it up, but hey, it is what it is. The next war is the best war, so we'll go ahead and continue that. 4 boss solos, all Miguel. 3 of them were Nimrod. I can't even remember who the other one was now. But those feel good. Those feel great. Not as quite as exciting as last season with the Overseer kill, and we used someone else there to kill a Maw, and I don't even remember. Those are a little more fun, though. The Nimrod one, I just feel like I'm like, you know, paying the bills. Like, I know it's coming. All right, let's do it. Let's get it clear. But it's still fun, right? You get to kill a boss. It's always a good time. And 6 total champions coming in. Apoc, Moldude, and Torch, each for 1 fight each. Corvus and Nimrod for 2. So Miguel is still taking the lion's share of my fights, almost at 60%. And then bringing in that anti-venom synergy. Obviously, 3 defender kills. Didn't pick one up in this last war. So nice job to our opponents, of course. So looking forward to the end of the season. I hope your season's going well. I hope you're enjoying this. Like, I love war, you know that. And one of the reasons I'm putting this out is because, like, 1, we get to learn some new things, like fighting Ikaris this war, but 2, I think this is a really cool story. You know, For Loki, one of the most, I think, like, heralded or high-profile alliances in the game for, you know, a very long time now, coming off of 2 Platinum 1 finishes, which was most alliances would consider incredible success. But that's not the goal of For Loki, and I would think we've got Masters secure now, and I just can't wait to find out. I can't wait to do these competitive battles against some of these alliances. I'm sure we'll be facing Noon and SSX and alliances like that very, very soon. High quality tier war. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.